Welcome out, ladies and gentlemen, to this RGL Highlander Season 15 Week 4 matchup between Team Fun and Froggieland. I am Zygron, joined by Voxday by my side and Dolphin behind the camera as always. Voxday, how you doing out this Monday night?
Oh yeah, I'm doing fantastic. It's going to be a great matchup. We got two really strong teams. We've got the most quintessential map, I guess, in my opinion, in TF2 and Highlander going. And I don't know, we got a great match. We got some great casters, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun.
Yep, it is product week, everyone's favorite map and some people's least favorite map, but that, like you said, that quintessential Highlander map at this point. Team Fun and Froggyland both come in tonight 3-0, undefeated, have not dropped a single round, both on 27 match points, tied for first place alongside Fast Fourth, who, we'll be seeing them on cast next week for their match with Team Fun. But for now, right now, one of these two teams is going to have to drop some rounds.
Yeah, and kind of what I'm hoping for is that someone drops some rounds, right? Like you said, no one's dropped one yet, and I would hate to see it be a 4-0. I mean, competitive rounds are competitive rounds, but let's see a little bit of a slogfest, a 4-2, a 4-3 before we can crown a victor on this map.
Yeah, like I mentioned, we have a three-way tie right now at the top of the board. These two teams, a part of it, and whenever that happens, this is a potential grand finals preview, if not, a semifinals preview at that. So basically, if a team can get the win here today while keeping clear with a lot of match points, then they're pretty stable for a top two finish. The biggest prize is top one right now because we do have the trifecta of teams. So getting first seed means you get a much easier match coming that first week of playoffs. Whereas if you're stuck in 2-3, you're gonna have a much harder time.
Yeah, that's a very fair point. I mean, if you come out here and have a really good showing, you take the map. You're not going to have to play that team again until playoffs. So Fast Fourth, of course, can come in here, like you said, the other of those triumvirate teams. And if you could put yourself in a position where you're already ahead of one of those three, yeah, a huge advantage come playoff time. And we know with money on the line, you want every advantage that you can.
Yep, we're going to go ahead and run down the rosters real quick. On the side of Team Fun is going to be Logan on Scout, Joey Lemons on Soldier, Hunter on Pyro, Sincarm on Demo Man. Update, Bowl Mayo coming in on Demo Man. That's going to be
Let's go.
fun. I haven't seen him in a while. Honesty on Heavy, Hyphen on Engineer, Casper on Medic, Lenny on Sniper, and Demento on Spy.
Yeah, and for the Frogs, we've got Technoma on Scout, Catalyst on Soldier, Pyrrhus on Pyro, Chief on Demo, Moist on Heavy, Exa on Engineer, Xavier on Medic, the SAR is Sniping, and Construed is the Spy.
Yeah, a lot of recognizable names on both these rosters. I'd say that Team Fun are favorites here tonight. They're stronger on paper from what we know and are likely going to be favored to win overall. I don't think they're infallible. I think they can easily drop some rounds to Froggy here if they get on the board early, but we'll have to see how that one goes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was taking just kind of a trip down memory lane, taking a look at the Prute matchup that we watched with Team Fun in it, and just took a little bit of how Frog's match went. I mean, like you said, both of those teams ended up with 4-0s on that map, but the demos did a lot of work for either side. And like you said, Bolomeo, he's coming in as a ringer now for Team Fun. We'll see how that plays in. But Chief, he had nearly 600 DPM. I know it was a lower tier of competition than they're going to be playing on this map, but that's a pretty strong showing from the demo, and maybe that's an advantage that the Froggies can bring in.
Yeah, but we'll see if they can get that across the board. For right now, I do have a quick plug. The RGL Discord is available for you guys to join. You can chat with a bunch of your fellow TF2 players. We got LFT and LFP channels if you want to find that perfect team to go at it next season. If you want to find ringers, scrims, anything you need for your Team Fortress 2 needs, is going to be on that RGL Discord. You can also find community announcements and stuff like that, as well as the Discord pugs. So, you can join those up, play those pickup games. A lot of fun can be had in RGL pugs. If you're interested, give it a try. They'll be running a lot of nights. So if you join the Discord, you can check the pug channel whenever those are up.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe that's where for fun. Maybe that's where they grab Bolomeo, just dropped into the
need demo ringer.
So yeah, a lot of useful things on that Discord. Definitely something to keep up on with news. Things are always changing, and there's always a lot of fun stuff happening around RGL. And like you said, those pickup games, it's always fun, some kind of casual competitive. And let's not also forget the awesome merch that is available. Support the league, support yourself with some awesome t-shirts, awesome designs, and support the players. If you take a look, you see a couple of those designs, they directly support the players. Jay has designed those two, and so you can support the league, like I said, support yourself and support the players while you're at it.
Yep, all those designs made by the in-house graphics team and helped with Jay, certain players in on those. So all the proceeds go towards helping run the Team Fortress 2 scene. So yeah, check them out. But as we get ready to get into the game right now, we do have 17 in server waiting for one last Froggy player. I want to get your predictions, Vox, going into this one, because I mentioned, on paper, we have a stronger roster in Team Fun, but again, they can drop some rounds. It's product, one good play is all you need.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, it's hard to say exactly, but I'm going to, just because I'm kind of going to lean towards the Froggy side. I want to see how Bull fits in with the, as demo here. Obviously a strong demo in his own right. I'm not saying that to diss him, but obviously it's different when your main demo is out. I don't know exactly who's calling for the team. Might be the heavy, but it could absolutely shake things up, and maybe that's something to look out for fun. So I think a close match, but I'm going to give the edge to Froggy as long as the SAR can keep Lenny in check.
Yeah, and I do think on the note of Bullmail coming in, we know that Demento teams typically are heavy on Demento calling from Spy, and Bull's played Demo Man in the system before, so I feel like he'll slot in pretty well. I got to go with Team Fun. I'm going to say 4-1. I think Froggieland might be able to get around, maybe 2 if things go their way, but I think this core of Fun is just too strong. I don't think the Bowl of Mayo, ringer situation is going to hamper them too much. And I just feel there's too many strong numbers. You mentioned SAR going head to head with Lenny. Well, that may be like the case in sometimes, but Lenny's just this sniper that so many people have an inherent fear of. He's probably one of the best snipers that have come into the game in recent years. And like when he's on, there's almost no one who can best him.
No, yeah, that's a fair point. It looks like the chat is pretty much agreeing with you. 4-1. 4.25 right now. The odds for Team Fun over Froggieland. So I'm fine playing a little bit of the heel, playing a little bit of the underdog here. But yeah, Lenny, we saw him completely go off. Again, it was a different level of competition on Proot, but just so scary when he's got a sight line. It changes the entire way you've got to play. But we got the countdown going into the first round.
Yep, and I'm going to be looking really heavily at this Logan versus Technomo Scout Ditto, because Product is a map where your Scout can easily take over the entire game, running people down. And Technomo, more tenured in Scout, but Logan is no slouch at all. He's amazing at the 6 classes and likely to be looking to run a train on his opposition. But here we go into the first mid-fight. High ball from Catalyst going to be going onto the enemy bats. Pressure early onto Caution from the side of Froggy, but Chief just gets blown up immediately, and so do the rest of the team. Xavier, Construct have both gone down. Jacob with a 2K, double up onto the Scout and the Spy of all classes. Rebound coming in from the Soldier. One rocket lands, can't quite get the second, will go down, and that's a pretty dominant mid coming in from Team Fun, only losing their heavy.
Yeah, I think, is it too late to change my prediction on this one? No, we'll see. A little bit. We'll see how it all shakes out. I was hoping with Catalyst's Bomb just being able to be annoying, maybe not immediately dying, could be something positive, but after that, everyone just gets wiped on Froggies here. And so we'll see. They're getting kind of choked out of their spawn, and oh boy, it's rough from the get-go here.
Yeah, just trying to get the force for now. They know they're at that 50% Uber side, so try to pressure Casper, but we saw Silver get floated in the air. Chief wasn't able to get out either, so that's just a sack denial coming in from Team Fun. Pretty textbook.
Well, now that everyone is over here on this ramp side for Fun and coming out over onto Cliff, it looks like just trying to go the opposite way, get a little bit of space now for Froggies. I don't know. There's not much position being taken. They're just pushing for Fun back a little bit. At least they're out of their spawn, but there's still a long way they gotta go just to get onto this point.
Yeah, they do have cliff control though, so that high ground is able to kind of overlook them on their back out. Uber got forced immediately though. They have to pop out and try to jump in. Man trying to get some work done, but SAR gets headshot. Chief can't reconnect with his medic, and he's going to go down. They do get the Uber Force out of Casper at bare minimum, but no kills coming with it.
Yeah, and Xavier goes down at the end of it too. 10 seconds on the respawn, so going to be a while without the medic. Okay.
Yeah, Constantine finds a med pick in the middle of all the chaos, so he's going to buy his team some time. Unfortunately, Xavier did die in the middle of it, but fast response for that offensive medic. Going to be getting him charging up uber faster. Without heals, we do see Team Fun being a little bit more passive. They're trying to back some players out. Heavy, too slow, going to have to play back on this concrete area. Bomb from Catalyst could be big. Any damage will stick. Gets a rock onto Ball, but just jumps out and keeps his life.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at Lenny here. He's already had a solid start, and now that Froggies have finally gotten a little bit comfortable, maybe not comfortable. Oh, there goes Lenny getting a headshot onto Chief. He's got a sight onto the medic, but not able to connect there. It looked like Froggies were maybe going to find their way out onto the point, but for Fun, just continuing to bully them out of this round. Under a minute left.
Oh my god, they got destroyed. Moist was caught on the ramp. Callus tries jumping in to save it. He just gets air shot and just destroyed out of the air. Gonna lose his life there. And Recap did not come in either, so it's still, 3 minutes, a perfect hold coming in for Fun. Now going to be once again forward holding on this concrete area. Casper up on Uber and 5% there. He needs to get this Uber in time, and looks like one air blast and a heavy sacrifice will let Casper get that Uber charge up. But now with the two-man ad, we're going to see Froggy try to push out.
Yeah, one of those, well, now 3 players. Lenny is down, and so is Honesty. So no heavy, and that scary sniper is out of it. This is their best chance to get onto the point, but there is still 100% on the Uber for Casper, and this is where it's going to come in. Good air blast so far. Paris making sure no one can get onto that point, but eventually the invulnerability, it does its job and pushes Froggy out.
Look at Hunter, WM warning at the entire combo. They can't take him down. Logan going to combine for a couple kills onto Techno and Chief. Lenny back going to get a kill. Logan 6k, Bull 5k. It's a dominant round. They're trying to sack in to get any time, but it's a perfect hold coming out. A full sweep, 3 minutes to nothing over here for Team Fun.
Well, we talked a little bit about the snipers. We know Lenny is just a demon on that side. Right now, Star sitting on 0 points, so having difficulty. I don't even think it's just the SVS. It doesn't even seem like he's been able to connect on anything. Not to call out an individual player, it's hard as a sniper to get a lot of stuff done if your entire team is being bullied. But we'll get into this second round here. Bomb
Early
coming across the side again.
But Jacob, he just decloaks on it, stabs Moist, shoots Xavier, immediately just kills the combo. That caution presence is not working in the sledge right now for Froggy, as they again walk into a wood chipper for the second straight mid.
Yeah, here comes the cap coming down. It looks maybe a little, no, I don't say maybe a little bit better, but we'll see if they go for the forward hold again. Moist is sitting up kind of towards China, but otherwise, I don't know. I don't know exactly what you can change here if you're Froggies. It's, we don't see a lot of like tactical timeouts in TF2 for obvious reasons.
See more and more, to be fair, but
yeah, it might be something to think about pretty soon.
Oh, here comes deep in, looking for Xavier. Xavier taking low. Logan going for the chase. 1 HP on enemy medic, but can't quite get him before he rounds the corner. Chief and Pyrus will be sacrificed. The SAR has come in with a pretty big SVS win, with Logan and Joey dying. That's no flank classes and no sniper. A lot less pressure can come out, so Froggy might have an angle to walk out here.
Yeah, this is definitely the opportunity now. With a few players down, you've got everyone on your team up. SAR is going to be on the respawn, but that's about it.
They don't kill Honesty there. He finally does that in the bomb, and Catalyst, a big bomb it is. Takes down Bull as well with that heavy and medic combination. Big play from Catalyst there to give his team the best opening so far. Sack onto the medic here, coming through. Carson, Jacob, Joey do manage to get that force out of Xavier right there. Gonna be able to get that one, even out the disad, but a full wipe comes out, and first capture of the map gonna go for Froggieland.
And of course, Lenny just sits up on Cliff, grabs a headshot, and then walks away. So fantastic for Froggies. They finally managed to get their first cap. They're gonna try a forward hold, and I can understand going for this, but this gets me scared. When you're a team that's been on this kind of disadvantage, yes, you're looking for something to keep it going, but
is how you do it. They were going to trade onto Carson here, but with Chief going down to a backstab, no dominating means you can't hold these choke points. Heavy left out to dry. Moist stabbed out by Jacob for the second time in the round. Like you mentioned, they were just not up to par there on that forward hold. Immediately lose 4 players.
Yeah, that forward hold is something when you have like the DM advantage.
One rocket, Joey gets
Xavier
going for the pack, and Xavier does live. Joey unfortunately couldn't find the last rocket to get that kill, but Recap coming in for the side of Team Fun. Xavier gets out with his life, so we'll be an even Uber situation, but time kind of close to even. It's not that far out so far.
Yeah, definitely a better showing so far, but we've got to see, even when Ubers were, well, even, and the last one, the advantage still stayed in the For Fun favor, and now Catalyst goes down early to a snipe by Lenny. The Ubers get traded onto the point. Not much happening there, so we'll see with the post-Uber fight. Looks like it's mostly going in the way of For Fun, with the Soldier, Pyro, Sniper all going down, and this hold continues.
Yeah, and Jacob stabbing out Sar there in the middle of that means that Lenny is once again uncontested, unchained, going to walk forward onto the enemy concrete, as will the rest of the team. Going to take down Catalyst and Technomo. Sar respawn will take that big heavy threat out of the way, though. Joey Lemons tries to jump forward, but gets stunted on his jump, gets the pack, and gets out with 1 HP. Conchute not going to be so lucky, gets flamed down in the back line, so a small man advantage coming here for Froggy, but they need to get some space out here, close to even Uber, so not a big ad to go off of.
Yeah, and if you're Froggies, I mean, you have a little bit of space. Sar goes down again. I was going to say you might need to try to work something with your pick classes, but now Chief going down, no heavy, even though this Uber is getting close. Now you're in a really dangerous position if you're Xavier. You're just backing all the way out. 30 seconds left on the clock, and Uber on the side of For Fun. This is not the spot you want to be.
Yeah, Xavier going to come up on this last chance Uber, only 15 seconds for them to get to that point and start capping it up. Remember, they have to be unflashed to even start. Catalyst going to get the proceedings started, but gets a kill to Joey, actually. It's a silver-for-silver trade, but not the opening they need quite yet. Going to try to walk onto Cliff here. Sar hounded down by Jacob immediately. Can't get anything done. Lenny gets the SMG kill onto the spy counterpart. Here comes the Uber from Froggy, but just air blasted off. One right click from Hunter puts the round to bed, and that's a quick 2-0 for the side of Team Fun.
Yeah, Hunter, you know, I know points are not indicative necessarily of the logs, but, you know, like to see a Pyro. Look at that top on the board. Maybe a lot of extinguishes, who knows. But we'll take a look at the logs in just a second. But before I even get there, I just looking at what's going on the server, when your pick classes are bottom of the scoreboard, it's not going to be great, especially when you've got double points man, aka Spy, and 1.5 points man, aka the Sniper.
Yeah, and I do want to take a look at the logs because I want to go ahead and bring about like a PSA, right? You mentioned at the start that this is the quintessential Highlander map. It's Koth. We've been playing this for years. A lot of people's favorites, some people's least favorites. I despise product for the sole reason that this map can be boiled down to if your 3 Highlander classes are owning, you will win, and if they're not, you will lose. Scout, Demo, Sniper. If you have the better Scout, Demo, Sniper, you will win almost every time. And right now we see Logan 13-4, 430 DPM, Bull 11-1, 521 DPM, and Lenny over here is 14-3, 425. Not even to mention Jacob, who's 13 kills, 470 DPM. Let's look at the SVS right here. SVS 5, or Lenny has 3, and let's see, Sar has 1. Jacob has 5 sniper kills right now, so you know he's winning the Spy v Sniper pretty heavily. But it's like, if you imagine you're not playing Scout, Demo, Sniper, or Spy here, and you're on Froggieland, what can you even do? Like, Moist and Paris are 1-10. What do you think they could have done this game differently?
Right. No, it's a really good point, because if you're sitting there as a big man, as they're happy, but you're constantly trying to walk through contested sight lines, you're just the easiest target for, especially someone of Lenny's caliber, right? Like this is a player that he's gonna hit more shots than he's gonna miss, and so when you're the slowest and largest class, just trying to rev up and do some damage, yeah, if you're continually walking into those uncontested sight lines, Lenny doesn't need to break a sweat right now, or you're constantly being hit with pills that are just raining across the map. It's gonna be very hard to really get anything done, especially too, like you said, with Pyro. Yeah, a lot of your job maybe comes down to spy checking and reflecting and everything like that, but when so much is going on, you can't do one thing well because you're just trying to, well, you know, no pun intended, but just like put the fire out where it's happening everywhere else.
Yeah, but you can't stop wildfire once it's already started. And to illustrate my point of how much Froggieland cannot play the game right now, Exa is top fragging on Engineer. Like, they can't do anything. There's nothing that can be done for, like, the majority of Froggy players. Like, it just feels bad for your analysis to be team diff, right? But, like, the reality is, Product is that map where if you're not up to par on the DM for your key Highlander classes, you just can't play the game. It's why I hate this map.
No, it's absolutely that, I think that's a fair assessment of what's going on. I mean, these two teams, yeah, I think it would be interesting. You throw them in on a payload map, something stopwatch, and you know, it looks very different because there is more coordination that comes down, or you know, a single pick even on a map like Product, you get a single pick onto someone. Like you said, if the scout's still alive, the demo sniper, there's still a chance of like really preventing that kind of push. You put yourself on a payload and you manage to get a clutch pick. It doesn't always matter what else is going on. The other team might react immediately and just kind of back off and give you an opportunity. So I think, yeah, we're seeing a little bit of that downfall of Product because there is a little bit of a team diff when it comes to those classes that you're mentioning.
Yeah, and I do want to zero in right now on, like, if you are Froggy, right? Obviously, you're not going to just give up, say, oh, well, guys, throw, like, just run out there, let's get 0 forward, right? You want to show that you have at least something to bring on Koth, like some form of, like, DM or strategy that isn't walk forward onto caution and insta-die, right? Because if it does come down to a playoff situation where, you contested fast fourth and maybe, like, you do end up playing Team Fun again, right? If they know they can just Koth you to death and they have map advantage, it's just going to feel bad. Like, yes, you can force double stopwatch if you wanted to, but like just not having half the map pool inaccessible to you in a playoff situation is very nice. So if you are Froggy, just come out here, try to show the best you can. If you can get one round, fantastic. That means that if Team Fun 4-0 the side of Fast Fourth next week, then you have pick advantage from playoffs, right? So even if you can get around, it's good. Just try to bring it back. Try to have like one strategy, one thing you can do that worked well in scrims, and see what you can do.
Yeah, I'll be interested on this mid. I mean, obviously you don't want to go too passive, but maybe just focusing on keeping your players alive and trying to harass point, because we've seen how quickly things have snowballed just from the first pick on mid. So maybe if you play it just a little bit more slowly.
Heavy roll out Cliff right now looking for Spy. They're playing a lot slower. They're going to walk forward to the right side. They do get the kill onto both next to Catalyst, but it's Scan doing so much work. Catalyst, Technomo, Constru, all dead. Sar, again, picked by Jacob in the back lines. They played it slower, but the result is the same. They're just all dead once again on the side of Froggy.
Yeah, and, Moist sitting up on Cliff, and there you go. Yet another easy headshot for Lenny to grab. And yeah, it did start off kind of nice, and then all of a sudden you just saw like, oh, well, there's one, there's another. Construed goes down, and then here's the next, and then here's the next. And well, now we're back in the same position. 100% Uber for Casper. Xavier did go down, so we're going to have to start rebuilding that Uber as well. And now they try to break this, I guess, kind of a forward hold. Just a point holds here over towards Concrete for the blue side.
Yep, normally you try to go for a forcer since you have that 50% dis up, but with Joey going down and Hunter as well, there's some space to work. Catalyst over the top, one rocket onto Casper, gets that force out. That's a good job by him, and only 3 dead to do it. Contra Chief on the respawn wave as well, so Froggy do have a pretty good angle to walk out here. They have full Uber out to work with.
Yeah, this is definitely a positive, and I'd like to see, they're playing it a little passive, just completely waiting for their Uber. I think that you had a little bit of space to try to see what was out there, but I understand wanting to play it as safe as possible. They do have to pop their Uber extremely early, and I mean, good job for Team Fun. They just kind of get out. They're gonna let the point get captured, and that's fine by them because they're just getting ready to reaggress, because I think they know
they're just gonna die. Joey walks into connector, gets the rocket onto Xavier, pops him onto the rocket, can't do anything, doubles up onto Chief as well, and they just exploded instantly. Once again, I feel like every time we see Froggieland lose a fight, they wipe 8 players in 3 seconds.
As soon as they lost the point there, they didn't even worry. They didn't even care about their Uber advantage at that point. They just knew, you walk forward, we've got the better DM right now, and we're just going to do some damage. And look at that, point goes down in just a minute. So only 20 seconds on the hold for Froggies, as Xavier goes down again. Jacob with a nice backstab, and that's a rough position now to be in. 100% disad and no medic.
If you're Froggy, you got to sack for the Uber once again, so you can get out there. Catalyst is out onto China, so maybe if he gets a call, he can go for it. They are pretty far forward on the side of Team Fun right now, going to be trying to back out underneath the Japan bridge over here. Catalyst is right above the medic. He could be going for this. Moist is going to go down to a headshot, so no Heavy going to be in this. Now Catalyst alone in the house, has to jump back. Chief on a respawn, looking to fight some scouts here, but Logan's putting him in the dirt. Construed flame down as well, and they just can't get any space. They can't get the Uber either.
Yeah. Oh, when it goes down. I mean, I did think, like you said, there was an opportunity. Oh, Uber gets used. Looks like Team Fun are looking to have a little bit of fun. Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah, Logan going
go.
with that scattergun on a 4K right now, takes on Medic and Engineer at the end, and that's the aggressive play when you try to commit really hard for the Uber. Team Fun are good enough to pop the Uber and turn it right back on you if you're out of position, and that's exactly what happened. So, again, Uber did that. I don't think they've had an Uber ad since the start of the round when they get that Uber force. So, one last chance. Lenny, though, still being a threat, takes down Catalyst. On to the point now for Frog. You know, Uber need to find some picks.
Oh, there's one. They get one onto Lenny, but immediately being pushed back. Bowl does go down, so does Honesty. There are still a couple frags in favor for Fun, but nobody's on the point to help Technomo. So Logan comes in with a little bit of help, takes him down, and I don't know. Clock is continuing to tick. We're in overtime.
Shotgunning them in the face over and over again. Joey Lemon's in now with the bomb onto Chief. Xavier again, butter knifed by Jacob this time, and Joey with a big 3K to clean this one up. Here comes the Uber. Logan's still in that kill streak and cleaned up. Only 22 seconds taken off the clock this time around, but that's a 3-0 match point now for Team Fun.
Well, let's see. I mean, you predicted 4-1, chat predicted 4-1, and I, of course, made the right prediction. We're not going to talk about what it was.
Not the fun prediction, the 4-1 prediction.
So we'll see. Maybe Froggies can come out here and steal around and
I'm gonna
make the viewers happy
on this mid, right? Like, where do the players end up dying? I have Joey Lemons is behind. Okay, sure. Gets a mini sentry. He gets counterbombed action. They trade soldiers. Whatever. That's funny. But Jacob dead, so he's not gonna get the sniper pick. Chief just alone on the left side gets ran at by Logan. You can't do anything there. And now they're just collapsing to hit scan. Bull walks up caution. Logan goes left side, and they just die. It really just feels like Froggy are not able to make a cohesive push work out, right? It feels like they say, okay, guys, the strat is W forward, and they're not looking at the same thing, or the strat is play passive, and they're also not looking at the same thing.
Yeah, 100%. Because even on that concrete side where Chief went down, you had Logan harassing him over towards point, but then Honesty was completely uncontested there over on concrete too, just being annoying, like not even doing that much damage, being annoying. But here comes the Uber trade over out on either team. Logan getting flashed in, see what he can grab. The only frag so far, no, Xavier.
Clean pipes though, gets two onto Xavier and Pyrus in that choke point. It was even in terms of Uber time on that exchange, but Froggy ended with no position. They were still stuck in low ground, still stuck in a choke point, and as soon as that Uber, that shininess ends, they just all explode once again. Like 7 dead in the span of 3 seconds. Like clockwork.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it just, like you said, I mean, Bull just hitting clean pipes, and the stickies are everywhere, and it just seems like everyone on 4Fun is on that level right now where all their shots are hidden. But again, that's what you expect when you're at the top tier of invite.
He gets floated in the sky, Moist gets backstabbed, can't even get the sack going. I saw a spy decloak looking for something, but yeah, right now on this box is Contrib, but his sackers are dead, and he's dead now too, so.
Yeah, well, 100% for Casper, still building as Xavier. You're in a position you can't really just afford to sit and wait forever on this Uber. Like, I know that it's scary because, I mean, no matter what, advantage or disadvantage, it seems that 4Fun just continue to tear them apart. But, I mean, boys, there's a minute 15 on the clock.
I'm hearing critical shots ring out from Lenny every 2 seconds, and there's so much damage. They are forced on this Uber now, but Chief died. They couldn't flash him in time. This is a solo Pyro Uber. They drop Bull because it's funny. But that's the kill I get. They do have some other kills to work with. Honesty does get revolvered by Contract, so no heavier demo man. There's a lot of space for Froggy to walk up on. And with Sar finally doing an SVS, this point is going to be theirs.
Yeah, and I think it goes to show, too, and I don't want to take anything away from Froggy, but it did seem like Team Fun were having a little bit of fun, which kind of led to that. I
feel like they voluntarily drop Bolt to that Pyro on that Uber.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Ring him in and then troll him. That's the strat. Shout out to Callus at the end there. He did pick Casper on the back out, so Xavier's going to have another Uber ad, and they can start snowballing this. You know, they have Uber ad. They are denying the sack well enough. They only lost the heavy and sniper. Star's going to be back up, taking a teleporter in due time. So, all of a sudden, this is the best position Froggy's looked in the entire match. And it took 4 rounds, but let's see what more they can do.
Catalyst.
Ooh,
Catalyst
demolished it. MGE.
We'll see. Oh no, Jacob's not even gonna bother. I mean, maybe we'll switch the narrative. Oh, actually, the Uber coming out here. They chase all the way in. Hunter goes down. Lenny goes down. And oh, I thought it was a backstab onto Bull. I thought it was a backstab onto Casper, who lives with under 50 HP. Wow, that was actually a really good good try there from Froggy. So close to taking down the medic and keeping that advantage.
Yeah, but with that, they do end up popping Uber and don't get Casper, like you said. So it is going to be now ball in the court of Team Fun. Going to be able to try to walk out here. They're going to go through main. Uber not popping quite yet. They do drop Bull, so no Devilman. They are going to keep walking out with a Scout and a Pyro. They do get some space. The Moist and Chief dead. No heavy demo on the defensive side means that they're kind of defending with scraps here. Bomb in, and there's the drop. Catalyst finds another kill to Casper. All of a sudden, things have gotten interesting in this round.
Yeah, they still, it feels like Froggies have held this point forever, and yet they're still behind on time. And actually, there's no one here to defend this point right now.
That's fine. They have full Uber ad. They're going to be able to get that medic Uber charge up and try to walk out onto point here. One more additional fight win is all they need after, we assume they get this point for free with the cost of their Uber, rather. Joey goes for the
Joey's in!
Oh, it's so close. The second rocket barely didn't do enough damage, and they are going to pop anyway. With Joey dead and Jacob dead, they're going to try to walk forward. Concrete Pirates are trades for now. Technomo needs some kills with this Uber, but gets denied. Xavier is dead. They walk into Honesty's minigun, shreds them from Concrete, and that's going to about do it. Soldier now coming in late, reflected. Catalyst not going to find his man this time, and with that denial, all of a sudden 10 seconds left for Team Fun.
Wow, so close and yet so far on this round. I mean, 4 seconds left. Yeah, this is a foregone conclusion. I'm gonna shift the narrative on that last round though. We're gonna say that Froggies exploited a mistake, and that's how they ended up having a really competitive round. It wasn't for fun, just letting off the pedal for a little bit. It was just great exploitation of a mistake of leaving Bull in, right? I think that's the way to paint that narrative.
Yeah, and that's the 4-0. Quick one, it is product. When that 4-0 happens, you get done, within 40 minutes from the expected match start time. So shout out to Team Fun. I mean, they played this really well. I feel like after seeing that, I'm convinced that they're the best team right now and they're favorites to take that repeat title. Their match next week versus Fast Fourth is going to be very telling, I believe, because if you see that match and you see Fun also dominate Fourth, I feel like we're going to know which team is the heavy favorites coming into playoffs and potentially grand finals.
Yeah, it's especially after this one, like you said, when two of the top teams play each other, you're always thinking, oh, is this a grand finals preview? And I mean, if it does come to that, I really do hope that Froggies can recover from this and really think about like, what can we change, what can we do differently in case there is a rematch. I think almost regardless, you're going to see a rematch at some point during the playoffs or something like that. But we've got to think about how exactly is this all going to shake out between Fun and Fast Fourth. Now it really the narrative shifts to those two teams.
Yeah, and I've just been let known by Melon, who I'm going with to LA with next week for Anime Expo, that the Monday match between Fourth and Fun is rescheduled. Makes sense, I guess, and they're going to be playing it on Friday. So that makes sense. If a bunch of the players aren't going to be there, you don't want to play that match missing a couple of your players. So maybe that match gets casted on Friday. I'm not sure. We'll have to check in with production whether or not we can get it out. I know I'll be home on Friday, so
beautiful.
We might be casting next Friday instead of Monday for that match, so make sure you check for updates on that. We'll have them in the RGL Discord probably.
Oh yeah, the RGL Discord, make sure you join.
Also might be a Monday match as well, so we might have a Highlander double header next week perhaps.
Or is it technically a doubleheader this week? It's for Friday. I guess it's next. We don't need to get into the semantics of it. But why don't we'll taking a look at maybe some of these logs. I actually got to pull them up after.
I don't care about the logs. Logan's 15-3.
Yeah.
Lenny's 13 kills, 440 DPM. I mean, shout out to Froggy for making the last round competitive, right? But it really was just a complete different class of teams on Koth coming out here, where maybe Froggy performs better on payload, where the DM gap is less, readily apparent. But either way, I feel like Fun is just overwhelmingly a stronger team right now.
Yeah, they look really solid. It's also, I want to give just commiserations a little bit to Froggy too. I mean, SAR did end up putting up, a respectable number of kills considering the domination that was going on with 13 frags. And going down 7 times, I mean, to the SVS, okay, that's a lot of that is on you, but also going down 6 times to the SPY, that's a tough position to be in, and still try to make it competitive. But yeah, that this was and no matter how you slice it, it was a dominating victory from For Fun.
Yep, and I don't really have much left to say on this. Other matches around the league, I don't think we have updates for them yet. This is probably the fastest one, to be fair. But yeah, other than that, there's not really much else I'd like to say. We do have, once again, a quick shout out to the RGL Discord. You can check it out. There is a link below the stream, I believe. All your RGL needs are there. If you need to ring some players, if you're looking for a team, looking for players, if you want to talk to TF2 players, engage with the community more, the RGL Discord is there for you. There's also RGL Pugs going to be running through that Discord. So if you're looking for some fun on a Friday night or whenever the Pugs are running, check it out. You might meet some new friends. You might get some fun gameplay in. So again, the RGL Discord is always open.
Yeah, and you can also keep on top of what is happening with the casts, right? We might, if it gets casted on Friday, you'll see notifications and to know what's going on there. And then if we'll do a double header and cast something on Monday too, so make sure you join up in the RGL Discord. I am taking a quick look at the matches page. It looks like there actually are a couple others. Blinky takes down Mingus Standard Time in a 4-0 fashion, get their full match points, as well as Fast Fourth taking down Maxwell. So the only one we don't have something for is Squirtier versus Somebody Help.
Yep, and with the reported scores of 9-0, Fast Fourth, they're now tied first place with Team Fun. So both teams on 36 match points. So that matchup next Friday will be, the first place decider. If you win that match, you're going to be up on match points for the rest of the season, and you're going to get essentially what is a first week, not a bye because you have to play, but a much, much easier match coming through against a 4th seed, which is clearly right now beneath our top 3. So again, that match next Friday is going to be very important.
Right. And I mean, especially too, like you said, I'm considering the Froggy is supposed to be one of those top 3. Yeah. If you're below that spot, yeah, it's an uphill battle playing number 1.
You don't want to see Team Fun
exactly.
in your first round playoff match.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And we got an update. It's currently 3-0 for Squirtier over Somebody Help. So
that's pretty.
We might
expected.
have
I would have predicted 4-0 for that one as well. Help just have not been on top of it this season. This is not like, I feel like every other season they have a good season, and this is the odd one.
Yeah, it's so maybe they're just looking forward to next year. But yeah, so it looks like we might have a clean slate of 4-0s in this week's matches.
On product, get this map out of here. DM gap equals map diff.
Well, I'm looking forward for Eruption next week, and I guess before we get out of here, don't forget to get yourself some merch. Check out the store. Links are going to be in the chat. Check out the merch store. We've got awesome designs. They're pretty cool. They don't scream gamer. They're some pretty awesome streetwear, and you can support RGL, support the league, support the design teams behind the scene, and support your favorite players. Jay has designed a couple of shirts that you can see on screen. If you want to support Jay as an individual, as a player too, you can snag one of those designs to specifically help him out. But why not get yourself an awesome shirt and support the league in the process? I mean, it's just a win-win.
Yep, and that's going to about do it for us tonight. Thank you all for coming to watch this quick match. Team Fun getting that 4-0 sweep. Very good showing out of them. We'll have to see what they can do coming up next Friday. Stay tuned for updates because there might be a cast on Monday for a match that is, not that fun Fast Fourth matchup. And we'll be doing that one on Friday in all likelihood. So again, check out the RGL Discord and check for updates regarding Highlander. We'll be back at you next week with some more TF2 action. So from myself, Voxday, and Dolphin behind the camera, as always, thank you all and good night.